Okay, we're live.
There we are.
Yay!
Welcome to April Buddy Read. My daughter just showed up in the. Sorry.
I was like, wait, were you questioning what month it was?
I know. That's what I
I
thought.
have the window right here. She just showed up. Sorry, I was like, oh my god. April's Buddy Read, where we read Devour by Gail Haris.
I just, before we start, I want to just say thank you, Jen, for this pick.
Oh, you're very
Keeping
welcome.
it fresh, keeping it different.
Totally wanted to read somebody I've never read before, so no.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
did
will
that.
never forget how this
Well, no, I
book
will
started
say that I did give
forever.
us all some options. We all kind of went with this one.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
Are you backpedaling?
You
Trying to
guys
justify
picked this. You guys picked it.
It's helped me pick it, but yeah. So that says a lot right there. Okay. All right. So, do we want to just go ahead and give ratings really quick, and then we can get into it?
Yes.
Sure.
Let's do that.
All right. Go ahead, Amber. What was your?
I don't even know. I don't even know what I wanted to rate it. I think it's I did finish it. So I did that. So I think I'm giving it like a 2.5, maybe 3-star, being a little bit nicer. I don't know. I struggled to finish it. Like I read it for a few days and it's a shorter book.
And it's
So
like-
I'm like, how?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even know. I'm probably 2.5. I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, what about Jessica? Jessica, what's your rating?
I haven't rated it yet because I couldn't get through it. I quit. Yeah, it was just no.
Mhm.
No.
Mandy.
I had to keep coming back.
I did finish it. I will say if I was rating it just on like the very beginning, it would have been different. Like just like the first few pages started off strong and then it quickly went downhill. I kept waiting. But I think I'm giving it, as you would say, Jen, I think it's kind of like a pity too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have DNF'd it once it started to go downhill, but I really wanted to finish and because of, the show.
Buddy Read. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same. It was like a 2.5, maybe a pity half-star to a 3, just because it was a bit entertaining, but I don't know if it was like a train wreck entertaining.
Yeah.
Entertaining. It was just like, is this really what I'm reading right now?
Yeah, that was like the pity. It was like the pity thing, I was like, oh, but
2.5 for sure. Maybe. Just
like
because-
I probably would have DNF'd it if it wasn't the buddy read. Like I felt like, okay, well, let's just try and finish it because I just went. Yeah, I'm like, but the fact that it took me multiple days to finish like that short of a
200-page book.
I was like, I can't believe it. Like I barely read any books this week because it took me forever.
Yeah. And I just felt like I couldn't. Like I got a few chapters in and I was like, this is just so I have better things to do. Like, and I feel bad because it was our buddy read, but at the same time I was like, there's other arcs, there's other things I need to be reading, and this
Yeah, like I'm behind in my TBR and like stuff I have to read, and I was like, I got things I gotta get to.
So this is my thought on it. It started off strong. It had a very unique entrance to a book. I was like, okay. I loved that she got into this guy's car and assumes he's the rideshare. It started off and I like rom-coms, so this is not a dig on rom-coms, but it kind of had a rom-com-y feel. And then we were supposed to turn real hard into this like dark world, but I never made that turn. Everything just felt off and kind of dumb.
Yeah. It's like she didn't know what kind of book she wanted to write, like it didn't have the right tone. Like I couldn't get over the beginning. Like it really and then how she kept bringing it up. And I'm like, did we even really?
That was the problem. It was funny. Leave it at that.
And then
but we had to continuously bring up that she shit her pants.
Yeah.
And then it's brought up that like he's doing stuff with her and she's like, I
she was in the shower.
Ew.
Well, she let her go clean up, but that's like a little like, you know, whatever. That's not you taking a full shower. Like she brought it up dripping down her legs. Like I had to read it. I had to like read it to my mom and my like coworker because I was like, you guys won't believe this because it was just and that's what was crazy. It was like rom-com-y, like whatever, and then it was like then it's like he's the bad wolf and he's so bad and he's a badass, but he didn't come off that way in the beginning, but then he did stuff that was like way over the top bad, that was like in her face stuff, that when he like snapped that guy's like neck on the casino floor, I was like, in front of all those people, that's just stupid. Like I was just like, okay. It was just, and then like the fake fiance, there was just all this stuff thrown in there that just made it like a chaotic mess.
It
like,
was a train wreck. It was a train wreck. It really was.
I have a post-it of concerns.
This is awesome.
So,
a post-it.
Wait, why isn't it a spreadsheet?
It didn't deserve a spreadsheet.
I didn't highlight anything out of my book.
Of how often Grandma called her little bit. Like it was way too repetitive.
And then he called her a little bit.
The dice thing was dumb.
Oh,
it was not sexy or hot.
That was
gross. Dumb.
That was gross.
Him being in the grandma's bed. I get the little Red Riding Hood thing, but that again.
In her robe.
Yeah. The tongue.
Gross.
It was just too much. Those were my main complaints. So I just wrote the characters and plot needed like more depth. Like she needed to pick a lane and develop.
Go with it.
I felt like it was like rom-com for 100 pages, and then he became a stalker at page 102. And
then the churn from that to like him being a stalker, because in the beginning he was just using her to meet her cousins, and he was just kind of like, oh, whatever about her, and then they were just screwing and having a sexual thing, and then all of a sudden he's like, can't stop thinking about her, and he has to stalk her, and he has to, and it was like, wait a minute, you need to have him be like obsessed, showing obsession, like a little bit. He seemed like whatever about it in the beginning, like, okay, we'll just, and the whole, I don't know, it was just. And like the dialogue, like it didn't flow right, like the way they talked. And the heroine also like constantly being creeped out by him, but like really into him. It's like she couldn't, like, it was always flip-flopping. I'm like, figure it out, like what you want. I don't know.
That's what I wrote. I was like, I had whiplash for sure. I thought like some of the premise was good, but I hated the talking. Like I just didn't, it didn't flow.
No,
she had
like his dirty talk. I was like, what? Like,
I mean, getting into somebody's car like that, thinking that it's a ride share, and then he just like goes with it. Like the start of it was good. The valet saying, making the comment that he did, like it progressed, and then it's just like we just completely, like I don't know, we hit like this weird wall, and everything just went downhill very quickly.
I feel like two different books. Like you're writing one kind, then you're writing the other one, you just threw it together instead of having one cohesive story.
This is I read Gail Haris before, and we met her a couple years ago at an author event. She's very nice, so I feel bad like dogging on her. Her writing is just not for me though, because the other book that I read by her also had like a really like, I'm like, oh my gosh, how could this, like the idea beat the plot and everything was so good. I'm like, how could this book not be good? And I'm reading it and I'm like, this is horrible. And it's this, but this was an older book. So when you brought it up, I'm like, I didn't like her before, but maybe, I love Natasha Madison, but some of her earlier stuff, I don't really care for as much. Like her writing has evolved so much, and she is so phenomenal in what she puts out now. And so I kind of was like, well, maybe I should give Gail Haris like another chance, but no, her writing is still the same to me.
Yeah, and it was crazy looking at Goodreads and seeing all these like 5 stars, and I was like, what? And I'm like, okay, maybe these are ARC readers, like the fans, because that happens. Like people that are like the fans get that book and they do the ARC reading. Maybe that was it. But there
were a couple people who were like on board with us though, who were like, what was
it was like those one random like ones within it. I was like, oh, okay, this person. It was like a 2-star, and they were basically saying everything.
I think you have to look at it from the standpoint of how many books we read. If you only read a handful of books a year, then you might pick that one up and think it's great because you don't have as much to compare it to. When you read, like, reading is your life, that's all you do, and you read crazy like we do, then you have more to compare it to, different authors to compare it to. And so you're going to be pickier about what you pick up and how books go. So that could be where those 5 stars come from. That's what I tell myself when I look at those and go, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, when I marked that I had finished reading it, I went and saw that it was like rated like 4.06 or something at the time. And I was like, really? So I started skimming through because I'm like, what did these people get that I missed? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's too, like, when I saw Jen put it on there, it was like, I was like, oh, look at all these good ratings, you know, and like the premise. So I was like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. The premise, I mean, like, the retelling, I don't know. I was really intrigued.
Yeah.
Same.
I did not get that dice thing though. Like the dice thing, like I was like, how is that? How big are these dice?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just that, like, were you really going to put that on the table after? Dude, I still am caught up in the fact that, like, one sentence of, I took a quick shower before they glammed me up, to like a quick, I mean, literally, you could take a 2-minute shower. You don't have time to stand in the bathtub and just rinse yourself off or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we say skeechy ass?
It's
like,
just
imagine what that felt.
It's so gross. I mean, like,
well, and she threw her underwear away and cleaned up in a bathroom
but
at
you
the
still
airport.
have it on your clothes. Don't tell me you don't have it on your clothes. And
and you would feel gross. Like, you would feel gross, and you wouldn't want to get sexual with somebody if that had happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
You're really welcome.
I'm sorry, but even if you kitty wash in the bathroom and try and clean up, you're missing stuff. You're going to miss. It's not a thorough cleaning.
You can't do that in an
airport
bathroom.
Wipes. Yeah, you're using baby wipes. And the fact that, like, you were in a airport bathroom and 2 people could smell you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A 2-minute
So it was like death coming out of her type of thing. Like
to do that. But I was like, seriously, when she told him and word vomited and told him that I shit my pants.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this has taken a turn. Can we stop talking about the fact that you shit yourself and please go take a shower?
Yes.
You went through the dinner and you went through sex and you went through, he did things to you with his fingers and he did things to you with his tongue and you still haven't done. Are you serious?
Just no.
It took you to going through the wedding and then having a bath to get clear.
No.
So it's disgusting.
Yes,
I would have been late. I would take a quick shower.
Well, and the thing that she was rushing to was like the night before, so it wasn't like the wedding. So it's like show up a little late and shower off, like.
But dry your hair up,
right?
Put like the shower cap on.
Thank you.
Rinse off really good.
Yeah, and she could have, but we just didn't know that. But that is your responsibility as an author to be like, I took a quick shower.
She didn't know because she referenced that she hadn't.
Yeah, she said he told her, oh, you could go up and clean up a little bit. And she did like, it didn't say she took a shower because she was fully like glammed up or whatever. So it's like.
Sorry, but for me, when I read those kinds of things, and no shade to the author, but I'm like, do you shower daily? Or, I mean, or would you shower after something like this happened? Because if you're writing this as your character.
It would be my only priority.
Amen.
Take a shower.
Amen.
I would
if she told him, then he goes, you know what? Let me get you this suite. You can go clean up, get a good shower, get a good bath. Yeah. That would have been like, okay.
Yeah. Or have her be in like the family stall, or at like SeaTac Airport, they have a whole section of bathrooms where it's the stall and sink together. Have her be in something like that where we can then see like she's taking paper towels, or she grabs a t-shirt out of her carry-on and wets it and uses it to clean herself up, like something.
Or she stops at the little store and buys a little tiny pack of baby wipes that cost her $45, but it was worth it because she got clean.
Well, and then the thing is like she brings it up so much, and like how it's constantly on your head, that whole beginning half. It's like, okay, so now I can't like get past it. I can't like put it out of sight, out of mind because it's constantly brought up. It's like, okay, I have issues in romances when they're like working out and went for a run, and then all of a sudden the guy comes back and he's so hot and they have sex. And like, ew, like imagine I was like, take a shower first.
Bro.
Like this took it to a whole other level.
Have you
I
guys
can get behind the sweatiness like that? I can let go of.
Yeah.
This I couldn't.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that TikTok where a girl is like reading a book and you can hear the narrator in the background, like she's listening to the book, and it's like, so and so just fought the battle and now they're back at the castle and he's about to ravage her, and she's like, no, and then like the narration stops and she's like, take a shower, and then she keeps going and it's like they're getting into it, she's like, stop, take a shower, so you can hear the narrator going, and then it's like she comes out of her head like, no, shower. That's but it
even a woman, like as a woman, you want to like clean up. Yes, and so like even like if you were traveling all day and that didn't happen to you, you'd still want to like take a shower before you do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I know your book's only 200 pages, but I mean literally one sentence.
She took a shower.
I ran up to the room and took a quick shower.
No, but you made it a point that you still couldn't. So the only time that I know that you cleaned up was after you did all that the next day after the wedding when he took you to a bath. That's the only time that that's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Imagine how nasty that ass would have been. I'm just
but because she did that, I mean, she could have but like again, as an author, that is your responsibility to tell us. That's all I thought about was why.
Mm-hmm.
It bothered me quite a bit, but even that didn't make my post-it of concern.
You're shit on them.
Mine like cutting out the tongue and then like making them eat the tongue. I was like, and then he couldn't stay there for it because I'm like, okay, so you're such a badass. You're gonna make them cut out their tongue, eat the tongue, but then he's like, well, this isn't good for my appetite, and he leaves. It's like, what?
I can't eat my steak. I need to go, and I'm like, ugh. Stop.
Well, and then she was like, when he killed that guy in front of her, I was like, okay, this is so stupid and over the top. This isn't even like something a mafia guy would do. He would never do it like out on the freaking casino floor.
No.
Where anybody could see. That really irritated me. And then she's like, oh my God, you're a murderer, and didn't want anything to do with him. And then like was still having sex with him like the next night. I was like, wait, which is it? Like, are you going to want nothing to do with him and leave? That's when she should have like left and him stalk her and go find her, but literally she was having sex with him again the next night. So I was like,
and then it jumps 45 days, and then she needs space, and it jumps another month, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
There was a lot of time jumps in it where it's like, we've been seeing each other for 2 months. I'm like, you guys you just yelled at him for breaking your house, and now you're seeing each other for 2 months. It didn't like, it's like she didn't really want to tell the story. It was just like, I want to show these kinky parts, skip 2 months. Like it just.
It was a mess.
Didn't work. Could have been. I didn't even think about that. Let's not start
Gail
that rumor, but
showers we don't need.
But so she is a real writer.
We don't want to start.
We don't want to start a rumor, but at the same time,
I think though
it's just weird when it's a female writer.
I think it just kind of goes along with the inconsistencies of everything that we saw in this book.
Yeah.
It really needed some thorough feedback to develop it more.
An editor.
There was a good idea there.
It was,
Well, I mean, and the book was so short, you could have added these extra things in, and it would have only added in a few pages at the most if you added in all the little things that you needed. But
I just still don't think that it would have been cohesive, because I was like,
no.
Even if maybe it needed like another 50, maybe 100 pages. I don't know if I would have read it if it was that long, but also I'm wondering if it would still have been, like I said, like a cohesive story, because it was just all over the place. Would adding those pages helped? I don't know, because I haven't read her before, but I
haven't either.
Because I don't have any desire to read anything else. But
no.
The premise was good. I was entertained. Again, I don't know. It was like a bad entertainment, because it was like a train wreck that it couldn't stop, because I was like, this cannot. I mean, even the last freaking what was it? The last chapter, she mentioned shitting herself again, and I was like, oh yeah. Are we?
We met in such a weird way, and I'm like, I honestly didn't think we need the shitting thing. She could have just been in a rush at the airport, happened to go in the wrong ride share, Like, but I get the author was probably trying to do something funny and quirky, but it was like it didn't hit right. Like it just didn't land right like that.
No.
I laughed when I first saw that.
I laughed because you never.
I went, oh my god!
You never take you never take unidentified drugs from an elderly person. Period. That is a life lesson.
Right.
Yeah.
She learned it the hard way.
But I think she just took it too far. It should have been like, I got to the hotel, my room wasn't there. Like the fact that whole thing pissed me off too, because I was like, how did your grandmother get a room if you booked the wrong? And they didn't explain that.
Yeah. And she was just gone and like, oh, didn't know where grandma was. And she was still like, I'm like, are you going to go look for your grandma? Or are you going to?
And grandma was in a wheelchair, right? So.
Only like through the airport, but she didn't want to be in the wheelchair.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
The grandma. I don't know. I feel like I see what she was trying to do, but it just didn't hit the mark.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also too think like my mother-in-law needs a wheelchair when she travels, but she's not in a wheelchair every day. But we wouldn't have left her somewhere and not known where she was because you just don't.
Well, I think the grandma kind of wanders off when they get there and she's trying to deal with everything. I can see that. You know, like picture the Golden Girls, like.
Sophia and the grandma with like her knitted dick thing in her room with like. It was just taking things to like this over the top quirky vibe, but then trying to be dark and then like do this like,
it was too many books happening at once.
This is why I picked these books so that everybody has something to complain about, and it's.
Sometimes these ones are fun, you know.
Because when we really enjoy them, it's like, man, that was a good book. So what's next?
Yeah, like what do we say?
No, I'm just something after this one.
Yeah, it's great.
When at work, I was telling everybody about it, and they're like, "Are you still talking about this chick that shit herself?" And it's a book. The fact that I'm going to have to go on and talk about this on a live, I mean, it's not my fault. It's the author's fault. If she would have just buttoned that shit up within the first paragraph, it would have been over in a funny story.
Yes.
She didn't take a shower and she kept on going. So I'm still talking about it because I feel icky. I need to go take a shower.
Well, and Mandy, you had said it was like teenage boys, how they tell the joke. Oh, like the first time it's funny, and then
I wasn't necessarily. I was thinking more like not teenage boys, but like little kids. You know, how like something's funny, and then they keep doing it over and over again, and it loses that. I guess maybe teenage boys do that too, but to a different degree. But that was kind of what I was thinking, and that's what it felt like. It's like, okay, you reference it maybe one more time, and then it's got to be put to bed. Like we move on.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the Megan Quinn thing though when we read that book, and it was it had the same idea.
I saw an Instagram post the other day of somebody's favorite series, and that was one of them, and I go, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would rather read that Megan Quinn book because the writing was still good.
Yes.
It was good. That heroine, I just wanted to punch in the throat. But
that one told a cohesive story. It just had an annoying heroine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll listen to the Jacob's Ladder 1,000 times over this monstrosity of. Even I read like the back of the book too. Did you guys read that where she was like something referencing the fact of like giving it to somebody to say, is this too much? Like, did I go too far? And I'm like, well, she's not a good friend because yes, you did take it too far. You need to pull back that a little bit because it's just, you only have 200 pages. And then I was thinking like, we read a Aniva Altai that's 211 pages or, you know, like a Irresistible Stranger by Lucia Franco. Those are like a novella. And there's so much information packed in there that I can't believe they have this cohesive story in 200 pages. Yeah. We read this and I'm like, I don't know what I read.
It was a train wreck.
15
I know when I saw that page count, I'm like, oh, cool. I can read this day in the afternoon. I'll be good. 3 days, 3 to 4 days of like me trying to like, I didn't want to pick it up. And I was like, okay, I got to finish this. And I kept just like going away from it and just going to my audiobook or something, you know, like it should have been an easy, like read it in a day type of thing, but
a couple hours.
Yeah.
3 days. It took me 3 days. Okay,
Yeah.
enough.
Torture.
So we didn't like it.
No. I think that's
How far did you get, Jessica?
Oh, not even fully 50%. I don't even remember.
Did you tap out at the dice, grandma's bed, or the tongue?
Well, grandma's bed is like a whole other half.
I tapped out before the dice.
Oh, you tapped out pretty early.
God.
I did pretty early because I was like, I was in a really good dark romance, and I just come off of a really good dark romance that had some elements. I mean, but it was like darkest thing I've ever read kind of dark. It was really, really bad. I don't even know why we called it romance, but that's okay.
Tell us about that.
What is it?
Okay, so it's the second book in a series. It's it was called, I think this one was called Depraved. Let me just look at it really quick.
Oh, I hope it wasn't going to be Loving the Reaper, because I saw you were reading that and I hated it.
I actually like that one, but I read her other books. I knew. One. I read the other series where we first get introduced to Peach in the other series.
Yeah.
And I actually read that earlier in the week.
Because she was a heroine I hated.
And I knew her personality. I knew what to expect.
Yes,
I did. So it's Depravity by Ellie Sanders. It is the second book in a series. I think the first one's Destroyed, or starts with a D as well. But they're secret society. These are brothers, and these are their relationships. And I didn't give away spoilers in my review at all. Like, I just couldn't. But to say that this was a romance was stretching it. There were things that happened to our heroine that you cannot come back from. Violence done to her that you cannot come back from, and that she has to live in this way that he has inflicted upon her so that she never leaves.
Oh, the hero.
The hero does. And I read it and I was like, I just couldn't put it down. And I was like, I should not be as into this as I'm into it. Like, it made Pam Godwin's Deliver series look like a toddler's story time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I should not be as into this as I am. Because I was into the first one. The first one was very, very dark and depraved. This one took it up a whole new notch. And I was like, I can't believe I'm actually enjoying this, but I am, and I still give it 5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah, like, have you ever read Descent by Sam Mariano? Like, that's one where it's like that's one where I was like, why am I enjoying this? Why can't I not put it down? It's probably lighter than this one.
Way lighter than this. And when we get off of here, I can fill you guys in on what really happens, because I don't know that that it would have been nice to have a few warnings there. But because even for me, and I don't have triggers, I was like, do I keep
If it's bad for you, I know it's bad.
But I still love it.
Appreciated the trigger warnings, and like, it's really dark.
There's and I laugh because AA Dark, she talks about how her 24690 is static white, and the books that come out of it are static white. And I read 24690 and I love her. I think she's the cutest. Like, I watch her TikTok, she's the cutest little thing ever. But I'm like, it didn't feel dark to me. And all these people out here are like, oh my God, it's so dark, it's so dark, it's so dark. And I'm like, well, it was kind of gray. No, we've
gone to a different level. Like, when I looked at like a previous thing of my dark romance, I'm like, that's not dark. I've gone to another level now.
Yes. So this was bad, but I'll tell you guys when we go off here. I don't want to spoil it for other people, but oh yeah.
I just see Jan put up her 2 shits thing.
For the dark one, it's Ellie Sanders wrote it. This is Depravity, but there's a book that comes right before it. This is the Brothers book that you really need to read before you jump into this one. But both of them should be on KU unless they get. I mean, the Brothers book has been out for about a year because I read it last summer, and I've been waiting for this one for a while. And I'm surprised they haven't been taken down off of Amazon. They're just that dark.
If it's darker than Pam Godwin, it's like
darker than Pam Godwin. It's darker than like even Lauren Beale couldn't touch this with some of the crazy stuff she writes. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's weird what they take down compared to what, stays on there sometimes.
I got to the end of the book and I'm like, oh, see, he made it better. He made her love him. And I was like,
defending him.
And I started telling Jeff about the book, and he just looked at me like, oh my God, like, what are you reading?
That's the way my husband always looks at me too. He's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, listen,
leave
me
alone.
It's fine.
I'm like, it's fiction. So I had to pick up a Daphne Perry book now because I need a palate cleanser.
Palate cleanser after that one. You need like a nice alien book or something.
Anything but this, because I have a few other dark ones I have to jump into this week. I've got a couple arcs to read. So yeah.
And you showed up late, but you weren't the only one that gave 2 poop.
Yeah, we all basically are. It
was 2 shits for everybody.
Really.
That's what we should all just put on Goodreads too.
You can finish it, so we at least.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even finish it. It was just that bad. Yep. So, yeah. So I do want to read more by this Ellie Sanders, though. She actually has a couple of other books out there that are supposed to be dark and depraved, and
I'm intrigued. Now I came off this, and like this morning I was like going through like my library, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do right now. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Do I want to pick up a book right now? What do I
know? I told you guys. Well, I told you, Jen. I don't know if you saw this in our Discord that I read that Karina Halley's Death Valley like 2 weeks ago. I'm still thinking about it constantly.
Really?
It stuck with me that much just because it had that paranormal that I loved, but the dark cowboy on top of it. It was everything. And it even had like that survival feel. And you just, it was just so good.
But has that come out yet?
Yeah. It came out this February.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw like her having like another one. Maybe I'm thinking of the next one that's coming out. Okay.
She has a vampire one that came out like a week or 2 ago.
Maybe I need to try something. I always shy away from those because I was into those for so long, but maybe I need to read something like that.
Yeah. It kind of like all the feels were in there.
I'm coming off a couple like really good MM romances, and so I'm like, I don't know what to do now. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Jen, have you read Daisy Jane's new book, Please Sir?
No, I have that on my list, but I had a couple arcs that I had to read, and one just killed me. So and then I had to read Devour, and I'm like coming off of this really awesome one, and then I read this, and now I'm really at a loss. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I have to like go into an arc. I have like a couple arcs, stuff that's due like on like the 1st, so I want to get it done before like it's like it's like I'm so behind. I still had like my 12 rec from 12 friends that I wanted to read that I didn't get to this month, and it was a dark romance. I think you guys like it. Is like the Nina Jones.
Oh yeah,
I bought this
I'll be
one,
shipping
so I'm
yours
like,
to this week.
I really want to get to it, like, but I'm like, I have to.
It's like my favorite captive. The books. I just got the notification right before we got on that coveted covers books will be there. The 30th and the 1st will be at the warehouse, so I'll be shipping them out later this week.
Oh, cool!
And that's in there, so you'll get yours soon, Jen.
I bought that off of Kindle, and now I'm waiting because I haven't read it yet.
Have the book.
Yep.
Mandy's the same way, I think.
Yeah, I had it on my TBR forever because I was like, oh, maybe one day it'll go on Kindle Unlimited, and it was like never going Kindle Unlimited, and so I finally just bought it. I bought the book instead of like getting the Kindle version. I always just would rather have the physical book if I have to buy it,
Yeah. Well, and she doesn't write anymore. I'm not sure if she'd ever put them back on Kindle Unlimited because like Debt was written in, what did I say yesterday, Mandy? 2014 was Debt, and then I think Take Me With You came after that. Like, so they're older. They're pre-2020.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is the sweetest compliment, by the way. That's the comment that's on there. Do you guys see it?
Yeah. I know.
Oh,
yeah, I love that. Thank you. So, but yeah, those are good books. I really loved Take Me With You.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to read it. Like, it sucks when you get behind and you're like, because it's like I went on vacation. I thought, oh, I'll read a bunch on vacation. Didn't read it. Like any. And I was stuck on that Loving Reaper. Like it took me 5 days to read that because I was so frustrated. And I was like, okay, that took me way too long. Like I probably should have just DNF'd it. But like I wanted to finish it because I really want to get to the next book. And I want to miss all the plot with like the secret society and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I read her North Shore series, at least 3 out of the 4 first. I have 1 more to read in there. But I'm out of order. So
yeah, I think I have like another 12 from 12 Friends was one of hers, which is Beautiful Fiend. Is that series or is that
that one I read? That's what I read this last week too. Was Beautiful Fiend, I think.
Yeah, I just bought it on Audible because I think it was like on sale for like $5 or $5.99 or something. So I bought it on Audible because I want to read that one too. Because I really liked her writing. You know, I like her writing. I loved the first one, Loving the Liar. Like it like hooked me. So that's why I was like sad. I'm like, oh, I don't want to give her like a bad rating, but
yeah. What was that?
Oh, can I show you guys what I got in the mail?
What?
Huh?
Can I show you what I got in the mail?
Well, yeah.
I ordered it.
Did you hear me, Jen? That was Lola King.
Lola King.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like the first book was.
I posted out.
Have you guys read Harlow James before?
Yes.
I think we did.
Okay, so she put out vinyl records.
Oh yes, I did.
Hey,
that's so cool.
I ordered one. This was my first book of hers that I listened to, so I just ordered one. So it has the first kiss on one side and then on her website it says the first spicy scene, but it's a graphic on here.
Oh.
Yeah, I listened to that audiobook. Like that's when I read like 2 of her audiobooks. That's so cool.
Isn't that neat?
And the audiobook is on that.
What?
The audiobook is on that.
No, it's just the first kiss and then I gotcha. Yeah.
Aww.
Mm-hmm. I think because like a vinyl, even if you had like a full size vinyl, you would never be able to get like 10 hours on there.
Yeah.
Really cute though. I love that.
Yeah, I was so excited. I think I'm gonna go order a few more because they're so cute, and then they can sit on.
Yeah.
I really love that.
Yeah. Anyways, I was very excited about it because you don't really find a lot of bookish things outside of like bookmarks and keychains. You know, like stuff that you can actually display on your bookshelves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
That's cool.
Thank you for letting me share.
I think I might have saw you. Did you just post about it too? Because I think I just saw that like on Instagram too.
I did. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was very excited.
She FaceTimed me to show me last night, so I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now.
I did. I was like, I have to show you this.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean,
it's really cool. I've never seen anything like
it's different. It's very different. And I can appreciate that when, you get a bookmark or another, that you're like, what am I going to do with this? Here's another sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was only $20.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
When she said she was going to have them, I'm like, I'm going to go look, but it's probably going to be like way out of like what I want to spend on something. And I'm like, oh, $20. I'll get one for $20. And now I'm like, ooh.
I'll get them all.
More.
I love books.
She got you.
Fun. I got an email from QB Tyler not like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, I have an extra PR box. Do you want one? And I was like, I mean,
yeah. No, I don't want it.
I know. I'm like, lady, come on. But like candle and
did you get the Nanny is Off Limits?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That's cool.
Other one because I want the Office cover. But yeah, she sent me that book, and I think I have it right here. Yeah, and she sent me cute little sunglasses and
cute.
I know. I was like, you're so cute. No, of course I'm gonna. Yeah, send me.
Yeah.
She's very nice. She's at a lot of signings, and I always end up pre-ordering a book from her, and she's always super nice to chat with.
Yeah, I always chat with her on offline or whatever. She's just such a nice woman. I love her.
Yeah.
She's been through so much, and she writes so well. This was such a good book, though. Like it's one of, how she's always like very taboo and very spicy, but there was a good plot behind it that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you hear that, sorry, my husband's outside doing yard work. I'm like, you're really going to or blow the yard right here, right in front of, come on.
Doesn't he know this is filming time?
Yeah.
Whoa, I almost just knocked that over.
That's funny.
Idiot.
Is it warm there right now, Jen?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Mm. So what's everybody else reading?
I need a book. I don't know what to do right now. I don't know. this book has put me in like a funk. I'm
A
like,
funk.
Well, hey,
You need a palate cleanser.
guess what, Jen? I know of 2 YouTube channels with a crap ton of videos where you can go find a book.
I know of 3.
I have
3.
too many. I have so many though.
Yeah. Well, she's got 3 would be her own.
I know, but you tell me that anytime I complain to you about
because there's 2 of us
need to go watch our videos.
Because I don't expect you to go watch and read what you're suggesting or what you've already read. I tell you that to go listen to like the other convincings where I've convinced you or not your own book.
Because like if I want like something sweet or something different, I might go with like something from Mandy. But if I want something darker, I know either one of you two. If I want super dark,
I can read dark too. I read a really good dark book called Obsession by Harley Beck.
Harley Beck.
I have not heard of that.
I haven't heard of her.
Hold on.
But I don't know. Like I don't know what type of. That's my problem right now. I don't know what genre.
You don't know what you want.
I don't.
Yeah. Obsession by Harley Beck. It was really good. He's in prison. He's cereal. But you know,
with milk.
And he's
a good guy.
14 women apparently. And he requests her, he's on death row, and he requests her to come interview him. He's going to grant one person the interview, and he specifically requests her, and she's like only been at the job for a few months.
Does he know her prior, or he just says, he just chooses somebody? Like, is there like a backstory there?
When you start the book, it's just that he says he will only meet with her.
Well, I need another Post-it. Hold on a second.
It's really good. It is dark though.
Yeah, I think I like shied away from dark for a minute, but like I don't know, I've read some really amazing romances, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole there. Which now I have to make a video but I was like waiting on a bunch of my books to come in, but now. And that's Haley or Harley?
It was Harley Beck.
I don't know.
I had to send a book back to Amazon because they
No, we all hated it.
messed it up.
Sorry.
How'd you feel, Megan?
Yeah, I got the same thing. I had to do the same thing to one of them, and I was like,
They sent my book with I use Nutrafol hair pills, like the hair vitamins, and it comes in a very heavy like glass jar, and they put the jar and the book in a non-padded envelope together, and so the jar is just like banging repeatedly into the book, and it was so beat up. I'm like, I did not pay to have a beat up book.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
And I ordered them separately, so that was like their own decision. Like the vitamins come like as a monthly, the subscribe and save thing.
Yeah.
So they decided to do that themselves. And I'm like,
they shouldn't make it where they have to package books separately, like by itself. Like, the books need to be on their own.
Well, whenever I complain, my husband's always like, Amazon they started in selling books. You would think that they would have an idea on how to ship them.
Megan suffered through.
I didn't. I DNF'd.
Jessica said, nope.
No,
I probably should have, but I
Yeah.
did it. I even messaged Jan because like on Discord, I was like, did you DNF this or did you like actually finish it? Because I was struggling so hard. Like she said it's like she figures buddy reads are kind of like you have to read, she reads it.
Typically,
so I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it then. I'm gonna read it.
Oh gosh, it was horrible. I didn't help that I just saw a couple of creators this week like, it's okay to DNF, and I'm like, yeah, but it's a buddy read. Like, it's a buddy read. But I'd see a lot of videos and I was like, there's so many other books out there. This one sucked that bad.
Yeah.
I think
and it just puts you in a bad headspace of like, I don't like Jen's in right now, like where it's like, what do I read now? Like, what do you do?
And Megan, you didn't like our buddy read last month either.
Yeah.
We're not doing so well for you.
No.
Should I talk about next month's buddy read?
Yeah, let's do that because I'm excited about that.
Me too.
I do have to say, Bookish had the thing on there about KU. If it wasn't for KU, I'd probably be in divorce court. Jeff actually said to me yesterday, it's like day before yesterday, he was like, no more books. And I'm like, screw you, because I haven't ordered any new books. And then yesterday, a package of books came, and it was from one of our subscribers. But I was like, I promise I didn't order any new books.
Yeah.
He didn't believe me. I had to take the paper out and show him like it was a gift. Not that I need to justify that, but I was like, see, it was a gift. I know he was partly joking, but I think there was part of him that wasn't. So
whenever you do an Amazon,
yeah,
when you do an Amazon return, they don't like credit back your Amazon card. They give you a credit on your Amazon account, and it just automatically like usually applies. So whenever we have one of those, that's when I like order books, and I'll be like, those didn't cost anything.
They were free. Girl math.
It is. It's free to me as well.
Free.
Mine's like the points for my Amazon card. I'm like, well, these are my points and the amount I ordered. So
exactly.
So next month we are going to be reading, it's going to be on my channel, and it's going to be Beautiful Mess by, it's Ashley James, but it's also A. James on here. And I didn't know a ton about it. I just saw Ex-Boyfriend's Dad and I wanted it. So I actually signed up for this too, and I got the ALC. So I'm really excited because I'm going to get the audiobook for it. So, and then I think I put it, hold on. I think it's on the 18th, right? That we're going to do that live show. Hold on.
Yes.
I think it was.
Yeah, on the 18th of May.
Yeah. And the audio is going to come out before, a few days before we have our live show, right?
The audio and the book come out the same day.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you guys read Ashley James before?
Yeah. Yes.
Me too.
Did
you guys read Beautiful Crazy?
No.
I think that's the first one I might have read. And then I was like, wait, I read A. James and then I read Ashley James. And then I was like trying to figure out, I'm like, I think it's the same person, but I didn't want to say for sure before, but it was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Beautiful Crazy. It was really good. I had it's contemporary, but like a little edgier.
Yeah.
Well, it's got like it had the breeding kink in it. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the audiobook. Like, I think I got the audiobook of that one too. So
yeah, I did too. Yeah, the audio was really good.
Mm-hmm. Bookish, yes, she had us at Boyfriend's Dad too, because when we looked at that, when the suggestions came over, I was like, oh, Amber, Boyfriend's Dad. Okay.
Ex-boyfriend Jessica.
Ex-boyfriend. Well, you know what?
We're still going Boyfriend's Dad.
Tomato, same thing. I mean,
birthday girl, like, we're okay with it, right?
Yeah. How fresh is that?
Somebody, I joined some Facebook groups because I was trying to find some like really specific books, and Facebook groups are just odd. But I saw somebody asking about Birthday Girl, and they're like, I just can't get into this. Is this a book worth reading? And then there were comments where people were saying, well, I just couldn't get past the fact that she liked her boyfriend's dad. That's so icky. And I'm like, what the
these people?
That's a whole world we can open up to you with different books.
That's when I go, how old are you?
Yeah.
Like how old are you?
What is wrong with you? Pike is like,
dude. But I could see if these people, whoever's commenting was like just turning 18, and maybe all of her ex-boyfriend's dads were nasty, which whatever. But this is fiction for a reason.
But did you also read the description of Pike? Because
because come on.
There was a comment where somebody said that they just didn't really like the character Pike, and they didn't feel any chemistry there.
He's like a working man, and he's like
a Facebook group for me.
Yeah,
you're like, okay,
that was definitely the book group for me. They're about.
This is where I end up in like some brutal internet fight with someone.
Right.
Yeah.
That is like one of the books that I will not. There's no criticism. It's
exactly.
Book. It is a perfect book, and I love it. I've read it 3 times, and I've not changed my mind at all.
See, I want to reread it because I've only read it the first time, and I want to see like, is it gonna? But I'm scared. Is it gonna hold up? I think it will. But I'm like scared to reread it again.
I've reread. I've done rereads of Credence, but I have not done rereads. So Credence holds up.
Okay.
listened and read it like paperback, and then I've listened to it a couple times. I can't remember what I did, but I read it. I think I read it twice and I listened to it once or whatever. But it's still, I mean, the audio is amazing. And then when you get to that Band-Aid kitchen scene, and I'm just,
oh yeah. Still lives in my head, only reading it once, you know, so it tells you how good it is. Like, and then like them out in the rain.
I think about the mudding and being out in the truck doing, you know, for buying. And that I read it once back in early 2020. I mean, and it's still living rent free, you know, 1,800 books later, it still stands out.
Yep. It's hard to remember books when you read so much. And so like the fact that you can remember, like we can remember it, that's a good book. Like that's
I love the part where they're in the shower together and his friend walks in.
Yes. He's like, okay.
Yep.
So funny. There's so many scenes. I love it.
Well, even for me, like the at the end when we see all the birthday stuff, like that still sticks in. I can still see that scene in my head. You know, just all the birthday things where we learn the name, like the reason for the title of the book. All those stand out in my head. You know,
I gotta read. Maybe I should read it again. Her pregnant and with the babies, and then
So I do have to say that there is like Jen, when I get into a situation like you're in, that's when I do a reread. That's when I pull up like Ice Planet Barbarian or something and just do a reread of one of my favorites.
My palate cleanser is I always go to Ice Planet Barbarians. Like it always like is like a comfort read to me, and I'm like, oh, and it's short and quick, and it just feels good to me.
Which one? There's like 40 to choose from. Which one am I gonna do? Because I'm caught up. I have read all of them.
I'm not caught up with it, so I need to get back to it actually.
Yeah. His latest one that the audio just came out, he's got a weird peen situation. It is awesome. Romancing for Meb. Yeah, you gotta read that one.
The comment before about only the 6 days, we did talk about that. We were having a hard time getting a date and looking at the books that we wanted to read. And then we all kind of were like, well, we usually don't start reading until right before.
Yeah.
So, and there
like,
is
you
audio.
guys are busy. And then like I have 2 readathons. There's a lot going on in May. And so it was kind of hard to get a date going on. And there was one like earlier in the month, but it was one that I didn't really think everybody'd be into, you know? So I think it's good because we like, look, I just finished this book last night.
Yep. Yeah, we're bad about that.
We'll all try and be really good about posting the day that it releases.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, just that reminder. Yeah, May is kind of a crazy month. We all have things going on, graduations and all that other good stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
It's my daughter, but I had her on Mother's Day, so it's like it's just May is bad.
May's insane. Like we've got my daughter's 18th birthday, then prom, then we've got to prep for graduation stuff. My girls all have a thing over Memorial Day weekend where they're in Vancouver, BC, and then Mandy and I are gone that weekend. We're gone the following weekend. It's a crazy month.
It's busy. It's gonna be crazy.
Do you get a Mother's Day?
I mean, no.
You don't get time for yourself.
Yeah.
Luckily it doesn't fall on the same day.
Yeah.
This month.
But that's right. That's right.
Good.
It wouldn't, would it?
No. Yeah. But I mean, it's okay. I don't really.
And then Beautiful Mess does release on the 12th, and I think you said the audio comes out with the book, right, Mandy? Okay. Yeah. So.
Unless hopefully there's not a delay.
Yeah.
But sometimes books and audio have been dropping like I've done some ARCs and ALCs, and the books drop like several days ahead of time and the author doesn't even know. Like that just seems to be something that's been happening lately.
Yeah.
And then audio will drop early or it drops late. It's been really weird.
Yeah.
PR Jane that she posted like before I could even send out the ARCs, Barnes and Noble sending out pre-orders.
Yes, I think that was TR Jane.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, what?
That's her publishing people though that are in charge of that. So Bookish, we all need more like Birthday Girl, but there's a reason why Birthday Girl stands out because there's nothing
I also think that there's a little bit of concern with writing taboo right now.
Yes.
There's so many authors who keep like getting hung out to dry over some of their stuff, and it's just
yeah.
Yep.
Where like it'll release and it's not even that taboo, and then they remove it, and then they have to like basically go to their own site or do it like Kay Webster does. It's like it sucks because like that's why like I remember, and then you'll have these random phases of people like going like talking crap about Taboo. So then I would like put out a video of like why I love Taboo.
Exactly.
Like it's crazy. I still get so much hate on that Kay Webster like blogs that I did of like Wild and Free. And I'm just like, I just block them now at this point because I'm like, I'm not gonna engage with the negativity. But I'm like, why'd you watch this video? Like you
Makes
but
no
it's
sense,
like
right?
yeah, it's crazy how much like how people get so upset over those books. I'm like, it's a book, and she told you what it was.
BJ Alpha, they took down it was her second in her daddy's series. It was Possession, I think. Now that came down very quickly after it went up. But Mandy and I had the original arcs for it, and we both read through them. I cannot tell you. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you what it was. I mean, Becky could tell me, but I can't tell you why. I'm like reading it, going, I don't understand. I've read worse off Amazon.
She doesn't know why. She had to make assumptions. And Nikki Sloan had the same thing. Like one of her early books is banned, and she's like, I was new, so I didn't know. And she had certain words in her description that flagged it. But she also said, she's like, we're assuming that's what the problem was. They don't actually ever tell you.
Yeah, because that's like what Pam Godwin has to like phrase things a certain way in order for Amazon not to like take her books down, and it's just a constant struggle. I know Lillian Harris, like her last Mafia book, it was literally not even bad Mafia, and it was like a single dad, whatever, and like the first day it went up, then it got taken down, and it totally messed up her like sales and ranking and how like the algorithm works with. They eventually brought it back up, but I'm like, how could you take that one down? Like that's a tame.
Those are, as far as like those aren't even those are like dirty dishwater. They're not even great. They're not that bad. So I'm like, what?
I'm like, why? I don't even understand.
People need to stay in their own lane. Like if you
if you don't like it, that's fine. Leave our stuff alone.
I just
like, it's mind your own business.
Exactly. Look, I didn't like this book. Am I going to go hate on it? No, I'm just not. I'm going to go forth and process somewhere else.
Yeah. Just stay in your lane.
Has anybody heard anything about? We were talking about Birthday Girl, but then that reminds me like of like Don't Kiss the Bride. I don't know. It's like one of the books that I want to reread, but she's coming out with a new book very, very soon, and there's like no teasers on it. Has anybody gotten anything? I need to go.
No, but what's confusing is she's teased like 3 different books since The Lovely Return came out with all very different premises. She was teasing a hitchhiker one for a while. Yeah. And then that totally went away. I'll message her and be like, hi.
What's going on?
Are you okay?
When's these books coming out?
I just want audio for The Lovely Return.
When we get
There's no audio still for that? Like
we're supposed to get it this summer, I think is what we had heard last.
Bookish. I love that book.
Oh,
yes.
I want to read it for the first time again.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Like it was so good. I was like,
I've put off The Lovely Return, waiting for the audio so I can read it and say.
So you haven't even read it yet.
Nope, I've been waiting for the audio, and because I know it's going to be amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll just wait for the audio to come out, and then I'll do the listen. So we have Mandy who physically read it. I listened to it. Here's the 2. Still not out. Sitting on the shelf. I'm really annoyed. It's there. It's there.
She had put though, like that was supposed to go to production a long time ago. I wonder.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because I was talking with Tor about a specific book back in February that he told me that was going to be out, that he was recording. And he told me last month, or the month of March, that it was going to be out. And I keep watching this author. It's a very big author that we've all read, and I can tell you later. But so far, it's not out. So I don't know if that's a production thing. He's done his job, but he's like, oh, yeah, it'll be out this month. And I'm like, no, it's not. She's not even teasing. It's not out. So...
I know Pam Godwin had a lot of issues with her last book and like that trilogy where it was like they were recording at different times and it was like it kept getting delayed. And so
she said she'll never use them again.
Yeah, it's like that's so frustrating. Like, and she was like letting everybody know as it's going on, which I really appreciated because it's like you're like, what's going on with these delays? Like, where's
she
the
was
freaking
really excited for him. I remember when we talked about it before they even started the audio for the first book, and she was talking about how excited she was for this guy, and because he was I guess there's a lot of manga or something, but that didn't turn out to be the best situation apparently.
That sucks.
So yeah.
But everybody, like, people don't understand that. Not everybody understands.
No.
Yeah, or everything that goes on behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff is kind of big. It's crazy what goes on with like what authors have to deal with, especially like independent authors. You're just like,
right? Like, that's not fair to blame the author. It's not always the author's fault. They are, some things are out of their hands, and you have to.
And not everybody knows that. I think we know that because of what we do, and we've been in the game for a while, and we've made author friends, so we learn these things. But most people who just read books for enjoyment and don't go crazy like this, they don't know.
Yeah, like when Gianna Darling took like that huge break, people were like freaking out and like all mad at her, and it's like, authors can take a break and then come back. And then she came back with such a heavy amount of books that she had been working on. Like, okay, give her a couple years break, and she'll be back. You don't have the right.
Some authors, like Ruby Dixon and like BJ Alpha, they crank books out. But some authors, like Carrie Ann Cole, need more time, and that's understandable. We have lives, or they have lives outside of being authors. And so, just because one can crank them out doesn't mean that the other one can do that. And you just have to be patient and wait for them to write a book. And it sucks, but it is what it is.
I just checked her Facebook group, and there is no updates on the audio, so I don't know what's happened there.
Yeah.
I'll continue to wait.
That's why I love it when they're able to actually release the audio at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's so nice. But I mean, obviously every author isn't able to do that.
Well, and that takes a crap ton of planning too, because I'm sure the book has to be done before it can even go to the narrators, and it takes several months. And if the narrators, if you decide you want Teddy Hamilton, you're going to be waiting a while to get Teddy Hamilton.
Well,
it's
most
just in general.
The authors that are doing that actually have scheduled out book number 22 with no idea what that is, and this is going to be their narrator. And some authors actually write based on which narrators they're going to be able to get, and so they're just scheduled out for certain people without those books even being done.
So,
and it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of planning. So there's just this whole other side to this world that just don't know about.
It's one side though.
It is. It's kind of nice to know how this all works. So
So what is everybody else reading? Because Jen didn't know. I'm reading an arc. I just went back to it. I'm like, I got to get into it. Is Taming the Heart by Elliot Rose. It's the next one in her series. She had an ex-boyfriend's dad first book, Chasing the Wild, that I really, really loved. So if you're looking for, it's not going to compare to Birthday. I don't think anything compares to Birthday Girl.
No.
But it's a good ex-boyfriend's dad with a lot of angst. And it's like cowboy and all of that kind of stuff. So so I'm reading that one.
So I'm listening to Coppersmith Farmhouse by Devaney Perry right now. I just started it earlier today. And then I am physically reading an arc for Siobhan Davis, Keeping What's His, I think is what it's called, but it's mafia nanny. Sounds like she is from something maybe rival. I'm not sure, but she's being brought in to basically be a mole in his house, but she's going to be the nanny. So I got to have that done this week. It's so far, I'm only a chapter or so into it, and I'm really into it so far. So
that sounds really intriguing though.
That sounds really good.
I like Siobhan Davis, and as a part of her Mazone Mafia world, and I've read one book, I think, in that world, but it can be read as a standalone, but she said you get more enjoyment if you read the others, but there's 4 books before it, and I'm not going to go back and read all 4 before I start reading the arc. So I'm into it.
I love My Silver Lining, like that one. I was like, I loved that. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. What are you reading, Mandy?
Obsession Falls by Claire Kingsley.
Okay, we're gonna see her in May, aren't we?
Yeah, she's at Rain City.
I still need to finish her Bailey Brothers series. Like,
Same.
I'm like, I don't know why, you know, I always jump from series to series. So it's like, I'm like, why didn't I finish that? It was so good.
Well,
like,
I was surprised because her pre-order for Rain City that we're going to in May it had like what, one book on there? It was like a Christmas book or something. I think she didn't have a lot of options. She didn't have like her Bailey Brothers on there and these other ones. And I was like, wait, where are they? So I have to order a book. I think I did get a book for her to sign off Pango. But yeah, I'm excited to meet her. So and then poor Jen, just gotta find some. Do a reread of Birthday Girl.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
You know what, but I wanted to read Don't Kiss the Bride, and I wanted to reread. Those are chunky though. I'm not gonna do it, but I wanted to reread Binding and Keeping because this book is coming out in May that I'm like super. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie because I'm gonna tell you, I went back to her first books and that first series, it was only supposed to be a 2-book series. It became a 4-book series. And I DNF'd the second book because I was like, I can't keep doing this back and forth. And what are the other 2 books going to be about? Like, you guys need to make up your mind, or like end, because I can't. Like it's Chloe Walsh, but she hadn't like completed her formula at that point.
Yeah.
And now I'm just nervous because I'm just nervous.
You know, I put off Taming 7 because you guys scared me.
Which is why I'm nervous for this next one. I need it to be better than that.
I need you to tell me how it is. It's not even on my radar to read.
That's how traumatized you guys were from Taming 7. Like, oh my god.
To like pre-order it, and I am so scared. I'm like, just do it, but I'm so scared. I mean, of course I'm gonna get it, but like,
I think it was Megan. I think she's the one that commented on our video that was coming out. I could be wrong, but that Taming 10 was coming, or whatever, something 10. Chloe Walsh's book is coming out this month, and I was like, oh, Mandy, I'm like, she didn't mention it. She must be scared to pick it up. So
I
kept seeing it on Instagram.
Tells me it's good. I would trust Jen. So if Jen tells me it's good, I will go read it.
But I am a little butthurt. Like I'm still a little mad at her for Taming 7. I'm mad. And I'm mad. I mean, because that's my boy, and you did my boy wrong, and I'm sorry. But see, Megan pre-ordered it, but
Megan's gonna. Yep. All right, Megan will have to tell us.
Jen,
I have 2 copies of Taming 7.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I just have the one that came super late after I pre-ordered it on Amazon. I was like, why? Like, it took forever to get to me, and then I just I never got to it after that. It's like,
Jen, I have a couple things I could have you reread too if they suit your fancy that I need you to reread, or at least give me some things for it, and I'll tell you here too. Got all these things I have to tell you when we get done.
Yeah.
Or Jen, did you ever read Sea of Ruin? Did you ever read Sea of Ruin or Dark Notes? Because you could read those.
Well, of course, Dark Notes is like.
Okay, but we're waiting on Sea of Ruin, right?
Ruin, I'm still listening to you, man. I've been listening to it for a year.
I think I'm going to reread that this next month because I'm doing like the 2 readathons, and one of it's like historical. So I'm like, I'm going to do Sea of Ruin just to. Yeah. And then I was gonna, I don't know, you said you were into MM. Did you read God of Fury by Rena Kent?
No,
that's my favorite MM.
Sarah Kate's newest one, because that's MM.
Oh yeah, I just saw about that.
Shattered Hate from PS Black. Oh my god.
I need to catch up on Sarah Kate because I'm so behind on like her stuff that like I need to catch up. But
I haven't read I've only read the first book from the Good Brothers, but one is MM, and I'm like, and it's like cowboyish, and it's like a pretty big age gap, and like Rockstar Cowboy, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I love Rockstar, but I haven't done a Rockstar Cowboy. I think it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you have something I need to read, I'm like, I just need somebody to tell me what to read.
Have you read anything by L.M. Halloran?
No. That makes me nervous, Megan. I know it's gonna be big, but that makes me nervous.
big one.
Yeah.
And it's a triangle, which I don't.
I hate love triangle. I'm out.
It's a love triangle.
Mandy's I'm out. I'm done.
Well, it has to be because Hugh is with a certain girl.
Oh, that I could handle. That I can handle.
But there's a story there, and I want that story. But if you do me wrong like you did Gipsy, then I'm gonna have to revolt by just not reading any more of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So The Fall Before Flight by L.M. Halloran is really, really good, and it's a little taboo. It's so good.
What's it called?
The Fall Before Flight. It's one of my favorite books.
I just, this TBR, I tell you.
It's forever.
You should do like a spinner wheel and just do the spinner wheel, and then there you go.
The funny thing is I'm so like, I so buck against that. Even if I was to do a spinner wheel and they tell me to read something, I'd be like, no, because you're telling me to do it. And it's myself telling myself to do it.
And then she also has a really good Rockstar series. It's Breaking Giants is the first one. Too. Mm-hmm. And then Breaking Silence is the second one. And then those two, their kids are in her second generation, which comes out at the end of this month, first verse. But she is such a good writer. Okay. So good.
See, that's what I need because last month was not good for me. I didn't even do a wrap up because it was pointless. It was pointless. Oh, yes. I read 5 books and 2 of them I DNF'd, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. You know what though? You could do a wrap up video. People enjoy hearing about books that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it when we rant.
Yeah, people love when I rant about a book. It's like more than my raving about a book. They enjoy the rants.
We'll read a book that we love and we're like, oh my gosh, it was so good. It's going to be on top of the list. Yay. And then we get to the next one and we're like, oh my gosh, let me sit. How much time do you have? Let me tell you how I hate this book and why.
Look at this video. We're over an hour in, but I guess we did actually change topics a while ago. So never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, it was on sale right now on KU, but I think you already have it on audiobook, right, Jen?
Listen, we're not going to talk about me and Sea of Ruin. I've got the book here that I still have my bookmark in. I have the audio book that I still have. I mean, and I have
you know that Miss Pamela is writing another book for the Sea of Ruin world, right? You need to get on that. I mean, not right this second because she's writing another the book that we're not going to talk about because it'll give things away for Frozen Fate trilogy. But when she's done with that one, she's supposed to be writing the next in the Sea of Ruin world.
There is nothing wrong with. I mean, like, it's not that it doesn't intrigue me. I just.
It's one of my favorite books of like all time.
I'm gonna finish this.
Is it like how Mandy tries to get me to read the Something in the Way series by Jessica Hawkins, and I actually have it on my book. I have 2 copies on my bookshelf, and I've never read it, and it's because I know it's going to be good, and I just haven't.
I was watching one of your guys' like her talking you into reading something, and then like you're like, here's Something in the Way, you still haven't read it, and then like you pick the other book, and I was like, pick Something in the Way.
It's one of those where anything just one of those where I feel like I want to be like camping into my hammock and stuff when I read it because I want to be able to really get into it and not have to stop because when I'm camping I can just
that one's like so heartbreaking and I think that's one of the most angsty like series I think I've read like that like oh my god that made me like angry but like I have to like
angry.
It's also one of those where I'm like I know this is gonna be like off balance series or something where I'm gonna so be into this and I'm gonna then when it's over I'm gonna be like oh it's over so I just
I'm so glad you're reading God of Fury. It's one of my favorites of all time. Like I literally cried so hard reading that and it's Arena Kent, which was shocking that I cried and like it's my favorite MM but oh my god, it's so good. Like I think I'm rereading it next month for the Mafia Readathon because I bought the audiobook and I think Teddy's does the audiobook. So that's like why I wanted to re-listen to it. But I'm like, if I listen to it at work and start crying.
For God of Fury, it's
yeah, I think it is. Let me look because
Jesus Christ. I mean,
I love that book. But I mean, I don't know if you've read any of the other of the Legacy of God series. Because I do think it's good to read the other ones so you know all the characters.
Jan didn't like Something in the Way.
Oh yeah, it's hard because like the first book, I was like, it barely started the romance. Then it's like the other books you have to like continue.
There's like
so it does have Teddy Hamilton, Shane East, Mackenzie Cartwright, and let me see who else. It's not loading. Come on. Anyways, it's Teddy Hamilton and Shane East, and those are two of my favorites. Like Shane East is like.
I'll put that on.
So it's fantastic, but like I read all the backlist. I don't think you have to read all the backlist to read that series, but I think it's good to read the whole Legacy of the Gods because it's stuff going on from like the whole series and all the different characters and stuff. So,
well,
but it's my favorite.
I have I have to film it probably tomorrow, I think. But I was waiting on some books, but I have a MM romance. Coming out very soon because
I love MM romance. Do you guys like MM? Jessica, Mandy? Because maybe we could do an MM one time.
I do.
I only like it. Mandy, read it. I only really care for it if it's in like a harem setting or a Y2 setting. I don't go looking for straight up MM. I always say I like some V with my P. It's just the way it is.
See, that's what
I just love the men together. Like, I just love it.
There's something about man. I don't know what happened, but I've always been the V and the P. But then, like something happened, and I was like, Have you read this, Tal Bauer? Like, this is a really emotional MM. Like, it was a 6-star for me. It's like single dad, like, and like it's just, I love it.
Have you read Emma Scott's?
No, I haven't.
No.
She has a couple good ones.
Does she?
Mm-hmm.
I have like a list of them that I need to get through, but those
Alien MM. I know. I don't really know a lot of alien ones.
I can't even think of a lot of alien ones, even in a reverse.
And you're the alien expert.
I know there's some out there, but I think they're harder to find.
Yeah, they are.
It's very prevalent in Omegaverse for sure. Which is why I'm like, okay, but as long as there's a girl in there, then I can get into it. I just have a harder time getting into it. If it's.
Did you ever think that would be you, Jessica, the alien expert?
No, I didn't. But I'll take it. I'll wear that badge with honor. I did read Zoe Draven's newest this week, in her Kylor series, and that will be one of my top reads of the year because the angst and the grovel was just it was so perfect.
Hey, that's what I love about it, though. When I get
that,
she did get like I left and say. I mean, her Horde Kings of Dakar. That is my favorite series, her Horde King series. But I like the first Kylor book. I didn't care for the second one. This third one, I mean, it was okay. I got bored a few times, but this third one was like, oh my gosh, I found it. It's like the Holy Grail. So. Yeah.
And then Jan, I don't have an alien MM, but I do have a monster MM. And this series by Lily Mayne, Soul Eater was like my favorite. Like I love this book so much. Like, I love this series and I still need to finish it. But it's like always on my TBR and then I never get to it with everything else going on. But like I like some of the most creative sex scenes that were like so hot because he's like a monster and like it's so cool because it's post-apocalyptic where there's there's a rift and all the monsters come through into our world. So this was a 6-star read for me.
I need a chick to be thrown in the mix there though. Just for me personally, but
he kind of has a chick a bit because he's got a slit or something that
my god. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
But it's like it's so creative and hot. Like it's so hot. I don't know why, but I think
I never heard you describe it, and you said that he has a slit.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. But he like MM. It's not like that, but it's different. You have to read it. Like it's beautiful.
And
Jen, in other news, it's time to wrap up. It's gone off the rails.
Just a little bit. So
yes, read Soul Eater. I recommend Soul Eater and everything. Like seriously, read it.
You guys are funny. Jan, I mean, when I hear that, I'm like, wow, maybe I will put that back on the TBR.
That's why I say it's the most creative, like male sex scenes. Like it's.
Well, I would say it's creative too. When you just mentioned the.
Yeah.
It's the anatomy. He's got different anatomy, but he's got the man goods. But like
the man goods.
Hit the end live.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything to add to this?
Sorry guys, that went off the rails.
That's awesome.
Other than Amber might need some therapy.
My favorite.
No. I do.
Could you imagine going to a therapist and like talking about
Amber, let's go together. I'll talk about blue aliens and other things. You can talk about the man with the slate.
I know, like seriously. I'm getting
hot.
My cheeks have been red the whole time because I put on some weird lotion that my face doesn't like. So I've got like a high.
Well, I got flustered because I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
It's awesome.
Well,
so
you said
anyways.
Not the other thing. So
yeah, it's all good.
Not with the C.
Just getting over here.
I agree, Megan. Thank you.
This is what I'm saying.
You have to read it.
I have no desire, but I love that you love.
But it's one of the most so sweet and gooey, like lovey, like male romances I've ever read. Like, okay,
I love a male, but like, I just you had me at monster, and then you really had me at so.
I'll just echo Jen. I love that for you, Amber.
Thank you. Thank you. It
Amber,
is sexy.
I am proud of you.
I want you to know it is sexy, okay? And they're one of my favorite couples. They even have a novella later in the series, okay? Because they're so beautiful.
Next time that it's Amber's turn to pick the book, I think we know what direction we're going to be heading.
Let's do Soul Eater, you guys.
Oh my gosh. Well, it would at least
like my coworkers think I'm crazy when I show them the Tiffany Roberts Spider series. I love. I'm like, Catan is like top book boyfriend, and he's this full like alien spider. It's so beautiful.
I really think you should go to work and talk about this book and just see reactions.
Okay. Well, I can explain the anatomy off the live. I'll explain the anatomy.
Cool.
Okay. Well, at that note, bye everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.